Today we have Richard Sarvate. He's a comedian and producer of the Setup comedy show in Los Angeles and San Francisco. He recently shot a dry bar special. He's very funny. You're going to love this episode. We talk about comedy, how to produce great shows, and always life. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. YouTube, Spotify, Apple, it all helps. Thank you. Well, Richard Sarvate.
Hey.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk to like a comedian that's like put together, you know? Like you
like
have like
I shaved? I actually kind of shaved. I did the one.
Oh, is that a one?
Yeah, or like it's the no. It's like you take off all the attachments and you do that. That's my new jam.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it looks good.
I was you, like, if you go back 4 episodes, I'm exactly where you are.
Oh, really? Okay, so this is like you talking to you in the past, basically.
Yeah.
This is a very Fight Club episode for, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I kind of like love Fight Club, so if only, you know, make some soap.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies when you walked away from a movie like shell-shocked.
Yeah.
You're like, what just happened? That was like amazing.
Yeah. I mean, Chuck Palahniuk is just the greatest. I mean, and like I've read stories about him where he would do live readings and people would be throwing up in the audience.
Because they're so gross.
Yeah, so gross. Like he has one story, a pretty famous story, where the kid is in a pool and he sits on the suction thing.
Yeah.
That, you know, filters out the water and it like pulls his intestines out.
Yeah.
And that one people used to just barf in the aisles.
It's I tried to get into the other works. Like there's one Choke.
Yeah, Choke is good.
I don't know. I kind of just like it's begun and start. It began and ended with Fight Club for me. Like I just didn't really get into the other
whole
stuff yet.
Yeah.
I listened to him on Rogan once, and then that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But Fight Club was so far in a way like an epic. I even tried to read the book, but I didn't really get to it. Get through it.
Yeah, I forget what happens in the book. I think it's about credit card companies instead of whatever it was in the movie.
Yeah.
But
and David Fincher is also one of the best directors of all time. So
best directors ever. Amazing soundtrack, dude. I think
amazing. The Pixies at the end, even like
I think. Yeah, sorry to just cut you off, but I think that movie revived the Pixies' career.
Yeah. It's Where's My Mind at the end.
Yeah.
The Dust Brothers did the intro. It was just top down phenomenal.
That's one of those things where it's like the first season of Arrested Development, where it's just like boom, it all comes together and then just can't be recreated, you know?
Yeah, Matrix was around that time too. It was like so many things that were like culture changing in a way. Like you had Matrix, Fight Club. I'm sure some others that I can't remember. Even American Beauty was kind of like a big impact.
Oh my God.
That was around then too.
Wow. Kevin Spacey, gay, undercover, and it was such a...
In the film or in life?
Well, in the film, he was secretly gay, right?
No,
his neighbor was gay, right? Okay,
yeah,
that's right.
He was secretly gay in real life.
That's right.
And the neighbor was secretly gay in the movie.
That's right.
Get your facts straight.
Sorry, I'm mixing up everything, dude.
Yeah. Well, we got to know each other. I think here's the first time I heard of Richard.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I had a show called The Comedy Bunker, and I found this other show called The Bunker.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just lodged it away. I'm like, didn't really worry about it. And then one day I ran into it at a show.
Yeah.
And then we we bonded over that.
Yeah. We did.
And I think it was a good in way, because it could have been handled so many different ways.
Yeah.
And I think we both handled it very like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. It could have been a major turf war in LA.
Yeah.
It could have been like, are you with the bunker or are you with the comedy bunker?
Sometimes it would be like a guest would go, because yours was in Burbank and mine was in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah.
And a guest would go to the wrong one, and it would happen to us because you guys were very prominent on Google.
Yeah.
So they would find you and go there. So that was the only downside I saw, but so many upsides, because I'm sure because you were so readily available, they would reach out for you for booking. I felt like you got the brunt of my booking.
Oh yeah. I think we definitely cast a wide net with our SEO.
Yeah.
And I think I was like, oh, this guy's doing my promotion for me.
Yeah. Not really promotion, but it's just like, you know, we all get inboxed from like, hey, like requests to do the show. So
yeah.
You would kind of, jokingly, I feel like you received some.
some like names.
Yeah, like I feel like some people would
can I
hit
do
you
this
up.
show? Yeah.
They'd be like, I hit you up, and they would try to hit me up through your Instagram.
Yeah, and then they would end up doing some weird show in Burbank instead of what I consider to be the legit bunker.
Oh, thank you.
Which was
And then I felt like it all culminated together at the end of the Southland Comedy Festival, where the Comedy Bunker was the after party for the festival.
Oh my God!
And that was because you helped put together the festival.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like the end of it all in a way, because right after that it was COVID.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like this beautiful combination of like comedy in LA was kind of like the funnest, most like go do sets here, drop in here, big scene, party, COVID.
Yeah, it was like a supernova.
Yeah, it was
like the birth of a star and then an explosion.
And then it literally birthed supernova.
Yeah.
That's
pretty crazy because Southland Comedy Festival was the last festival in LA.
Yeah,
ever.
Was it like the first and last?
No, it was just the last.
Just the last. Yeah. Well, hopefully, I mean, there's the Netflix festival that's coming up soon.
Yeah, hopefully that's good. I think that's run by is it Ahmed Barucha and Abby Launder?
Could be, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It felt like every time they announced the Netflix Comedy Festival, COVID ramped up.
Yeah. I think that's basically, I mean, COVID hates Netflix.
Could be, yeah. Oh, yeah. COVID likes Netflix because it wants you to be at home.
Oh, right. Yeah. But they're like, what is this Netflix in person? We don't like that.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Yeah. We like fat slobs on couches.
Yeah. But you have a great reputation as running some of the best shows coming from the setup in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what that was and how it came together.
Yeah, I mean, I run this comedy brand called The Setup. It's all started in San Francisco in the Tenderloin, which is the worst neighborhood of San Francisco.
Worst for crime?
Worst for, crime, homelessness, drug use, all across the board, like mental illness. So, but there was this basement in the Tenderloin that was just like perfect for comedy. And this is a very famous basement. Like it used to be, there used to be a jazz club called the Black Hawk Jazz Club next door. And this is like a famous club where like Miles Davis recorded a bunch of albums. And this basement was the connected green room for that. So it's a very famous space. But like over the years, that neighborhood has become the worst neighborhood. So I used to go to this really terrible basement and they would have terrible open mics there. And I was like, wait, but this is like perfect for a show. But no one really wanted to do a show there because it was in such a bad neighborhood. They're like, oh, there's no foot traffic except for insane people.
Yeah.
And so, so I came in with like a digital marketing kind of thing and made it a destination to go to rather than like flyering people in. Once people actually got into the venue, it's just explosive in there.
Yeah.
Like, the energy's perfect. The vibe is perfect. It's just something happens.
What about it? Because that's not something that just happened. That was a proactive effort to create that great vibe.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you did?
I think the main thing I did was to just really pack people in. Like, I think, up until then, shows, it was always like stage and then like some space and then the audience. But my whole thing was to just like, as many people bought tickets, we're getting you in here somehow. So we would just we would just surround the stage on all sides. Like sometimes you'd be performing and you would be able to touch all the audience.
Right.
Just because there literally was no space in there. And I think that like, it was almost like as if like a fight had started and a bunch of people had like gathered around. Yeah, pretty much.
You're the Fight Club of comedy.
Exactly.
And you're like, your whole theme is like, what fire code? Get them in here.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's like, the venue capacity is like 79 there.
79?
Which is the top and bottom, but we've never gone above that. But
you've gone to 78 and a half.
Exactly. Yeah. And we always kick people out when we go above the capacity.
As you should. So packing, that's important because you get that like wall of sound that really, comedy is meant to be tight, packed, like seating off, like
I know. And that's
not comfortable seating, like just kind of like you're in there, like this isn't supposed to be happening.
Exactly, dude. And I used to love it. People would be sitting on the floor, people would be on stools, people would be kind of like standing. So it's just like everywhere you go, it's just energy.
Yeah, energy.
Yeah.
And you had a great logo too that really popped, the setup, and it was designed well.
Yeah, that one was really cool because I actually just had some I used a service for that. It's this thing. It's called Crowdspring. You get a bunch of people to make logos, and then you just pick the best one.
And only that person gets paid?
Yeah, it's kind of like really bad.
It's kind of like auditioning for work.
Yeah, pretty much. Except you have to do the work already.
Yeah, that's like shooting a commercial.
Yeah.
Going through the work and being like, McDonald's didn't pick you.
I'm like do, and they're like, yeah, no, we don't. I'm like, but I spent all my savings.
My whole day's shot, but you get a great deal.
Yeah, but I just don't understand. I mean, I think, it's just, I don't want to know what's happening behind the scenes, but there is definitely like a bunch of people in Indonesia just being like, do you like this?
They just like if you're gonna go to Myanmar one day on vacation, and you're gonna walk by a coffee shop, and it's gonna be the setup. It's gonna be the exact logo. They just stole it from.
Oh my god, the setup coffee shop.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're just selling you like logos from around town that we don't know about.
God damn it, dude! But the logo is genius because it's got an S. The E and the U make a microphone. Which I mean,
I didn't even know that. It just looks good, and it pops. It's white. It's just neon.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's amazing. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of money to get something amazing. Like, it just has to be that moment of inspiration,
Right. And the effort to do it, because it sucks to like email somebody, contact, like set them up. Like, that's really the hard work, is the proactive engagement of what you need done is the hard part.
Yeah.
If you're not the one making it, right?
Yeah. Like, just like, I mean, with NFTs, I'm like, I should make NFTs. But that's just every time I start doing it, I'm like, I just get tired.
NFTs, I just get tired. Maybe that's why all of the NFTs are like bored, tired apes.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's them trying to finish their NFT, and they're just like, ugh.
Yeah, each one of those CryptoPunks is just like someone who's like,
Yeah, I can't believe I got through it.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of Ethereum.
Have you thought about doing NFTs?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's always funny. Like, you can have a great idea, but then once you start doing it, you just get tired. So it's like, yeah, I would love to make, like I have a series called Night of the Living Karens. I could make a NFT trading cards for like Karen zombies or something like that.
Yeah.
And, I think that'd be a great idea.
Right. Karen number 436 of 1,000.
Exactly, dude. And be like, you must collect all the Karens.
It's kind of catchy. Why don't you do it? So let's walk through the steps. So it's tiring, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, where did you hit the wall with making the Karens?
I think I hit the wall with what type of art do I need? So I asked somebody on Fiverr, I was like, hey, can you make me a Karen zombie? And then I wanted to have like a little bit of animation. So it would start with the normal Karen, like, and then transform into a zombie, and it would go back and forth. And I thought that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so I was working on it with the artist, and the guy just didn't know what I was asking for. And I that's where I hit the roadblock, because he sent me some images, and I didn't like the way they transitioned to each other.
Yeah.
I got tired.
You got tired.
Yeah.
But now, I could be totally wrong, but isn't it about selling the art of the artist? Like, what if you just draw the Karens?
I mean, it's not going to look very good, but
I think that doesn't seem to be a limiting factor from what I've seen.
That's true. I've seen some weird squiggles get sold for a lot of money.
Yeah, so then you make the Karens, and then that's because, like, as the purchaser, as the guy who hasn't and probably will never buy an NFT, I wouldn't want to buy an NFT that you outsourced the design from. I'd want to know I'm buying your art.
Really?
There's a connection.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Right. It's about the artist.
I didn't know that was important to you.
Is it not, do you think it's not important? Is it just me? I feel like that would be important to everyone. Because, like, why would I spend money on a JPEG that you had someone else? Then it seems like a money grab.
I see. Yeah. I mean, it would be to, like, be part of the Karen universe. Like, so there's this Karen zombie universe that I've created, so you're kind of in it. So, like, if you buy some X-Men trading cards, like, if you get Wolverine, that's not Hugh Grant didn't draw that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but Stan Lee or someone did.
Right.
like a valid comic book. I'm sure your jungle guy didn't try.
That's true. You don't know. These guys are really talented. You don't know. Stan Lee might just be, a front for an Indonesian or something.
But I mean, his model is not far from your model with your logo. We're going very deep on this, but like he at some point created. I don't know Stan Lee, and I know everyone knows everything about him except for me. But like he did the Marvel stuff, and at some point he's like, okay, you can do stuff, come under the fold.
Yeah.
And like that's a version of outsourcing and building, because he's like, I can't draw everything.
Yeah.
All these comics.
So he has people. Yeah.
So he has people.
Yeah, essentially that's what I thought, because it's like I just feel like life these days is all about like everyone's kind of like a producer, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I need Karen zombies, so people on Fiverr can do it. So it's like it's with my guidance, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like I'm not the one putting pen to paper, but it is like my input. So in
Right.
a way, it's collaborative.
What if you're one of the Karens? Like you're number 000. Like
I should be
triple zero.
like the ultimate one. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely worth the most money by far.
Right, and like you sell all 999 first,
Mm-hmm.
and then you wait to drop the Richard Karen.
Oh my god, the ultimate! It's like all the 999 build up the hype, and
Yeah.
then the final one.
And then you just decide not to sell it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I just keep it for myself.
Right. Until people beg you to sell it.
Please. Oh my god, dude.
Because you're kind of in this world. You have a bit about Bitcoin.
I do, yeah.
Where you had a lot of Bitcoin at one time.
I did, yeah.
And when it was like not really a real thing yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, not that we, I guess it is a real thing now. Who knows? Let's not argue that point. But
yeah.
before, like, we're talking sub $100 a coin.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I mean, it all just started when. So I have a friend. He's like very. He catches onto things really quick. Like he told me about the British Office so long, like right when it first came out. Like he's like that kind
Is
of
he
guy.
Canadian?
No, he's not. Oh, is he? No. Actually, he might. I think his dad might. He might have lived in Canada for a little while. Why? Why do you say that?
Because Canadians know about the British Office.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so yeah, he told me about the British Office. He also told me about what's that Australian TV show with the guy who dresses like the woman and he plays like 5 characters. Do you remember? Oh, I feel like everyone. Oh, it's got high school in the name. It's something high.
Monsters High?
No, not that. It's something else. But it's he told me about all these great TV shows, and he's always first on everything. And he told me about, he was like, hey, we can buy mushrooms. He's like, all you got to do is you got to, he sent me this whole thing. And it was like, you got to like use Tor, it hides your IP. Then he's like, oh, you got to do this Bitcoin thing. And then he's like, and then you have to go on the Silk Road and you mask your address. And so I just did the whole thing. So back Bitcoin was
Is
just
he like
a step.
Neo? Does he have like 3 screens and he's just like typing?
Yeah, kind of like
He's got for some reason he has the Nintendo Power Glove and he's using it. And you're like, dude, it's not connected. You're like, I don't care.
Yeah, dude, he's first on everything. Like he was on. You remember that chat service, IRC?
Yeah, IRC.
Yeah. He used to be on that all the time. So I think he found out about a lot of stuff on there.
Yeah,
and he would tell me.
He's on the dark web.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, dude. I
do you know him like by face?
Yeah.
Don't say his. Don't say his name.
No, I won't say too much. But yeah. No, he's always first, and a strange character.
Is it like a friend of yours from high school?
Yeah, a friend of my friend. We actually have the exact same birthday, June 1st. It's kind of crazy.
Well, now the dark web's going to reverse engineer him.
They're like, uh-oh.
They're sending him a
sorry for outing
sending
you.
him a tracer right now.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Well, like, how come? Why don't you just hang out with this guy and figure out what the next thing is now?
I need to get back in touch. Yeah, he lives in Brooklyn now, but we do have phones. So
yeah, call him and be like, hey, what you working on? He could be on some new coin. He's probably on the moon. Like,
yeah.
If he was that far ahead on Bitcoin, who knows what he's into now? He could be half robot.
Dude, 100%. Dude, I got to get back in touch. I used to have like a really interesting group of friends that like the same thing. First, they were first on music, everything. Like, and I don't have that group of friends anymore. So
Now
I
you
feel
have
like
comedians.
Yeah, now I just have comedians. Yeah,
who are last on fashion, last on music.
I know that's the thing. Like, we're hilarious people, but like, we're never like. You need to have weird people that are not comedians that are just like investigating life to actually be first on things.
Yeah, and then it also takes you out of your element too.
Yeah, like how many friends do you have that are not comedians?
It's dwindling.
Yeah.
Well, because like I feel like it's almost like a virus. Like comedians enter your life, and then you have more and more comedian friends, and then that's kind of becomes all you hang out with, and then and then that's what you do at nights, and then that's what you see, and then you don't want to go out at night because that's what you're doing, and it becomes like a self-reinforcing cycle.
Yeah.
So I think everyone does need more non-comedian friends.
Yeah. I have. Let me think. I have 2 friends that I would say like I like talking to that are not comedians.
Yeah.
But I have.
But are they funny?
No. Like they're interesting. I don't necessarily like funny people that much. Like I just like people that I can talk to. And I also don't know, like, people say I'm funny off stage, but like I don't even really like see it or whatever. I'm just talking. I just I just prefer people where I can have a conversation.
I like people who are funny but are not trying to be funny. Like people who are just, they're not trying to be on, but they are just quick and funny.
Dude, I hate people that are on, man.
The over on thing is a lot.
Dude, I'm like, what are you trying? Are you trying to entertain me? Like, is this like, am I a customer at your show? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, whenever there's like an alpha off, I'm always just like, you guys just have it.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, I never participate.
Yeah, I don't find it fun. Trying to like, let's get the word in, you know?
Well, you know what? Like, honestly, like, I don't speak too much in groups. You
No,
know,
me either.
like, yeah. So it's like, this is good for me because, like, you know, I hardly ever speak this much, you know? And also, that's why stand-up is good for me because I'm supposed to be speaking.
Right. It's your time to speak.
It's my time, yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, you're off stage. It's not your time, you know?
Yeah, and then you're like, get the pressure to be like, if people think you're like, it comes from non-comics when you're like, oh, you're the comedian, you should be the outgoing one, but you're like, that's not really how it works for everyone, you know?
I know, dude. People always say that to me. They go, oh man, you're a comedian, you're just like, you're just the life of the party. I'm like, I'm not the life of the party.
You're like, I'm at home right now, you guys, I've already left.
Yeah, dude, I hate, like, dude, a party drains my energy. Like, I'm good for,
So
like,
you're an introvert.
I'm an introvert.
Yeah, you're buying and selling Bitcoin, making Karen art. This is
classic introvert behavior.
Yeah.
But I need like solid 30 minutes of human interaction.
Yeah.
Like, and then,
Well,
but
do you
then
work from home?
Yeah.
That's one of the problems too, is like, if you work from home and you're introverted, it can get a little bit isolating.
Yeah. I mean, I only do. Yeah. I mean, I have nowhere to go. I mean, I go to a coffee shop.
Yeah, but COVID made it so we literally have nowhere to go. Because like, how much do you hate your house? Do you want to get COVID? And like, I see people with laptops at Starbucks now, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Like, is this a thing? Are we back at laptops at Starbucks?
I think we're back. I'm going to go see Korn this weekend.
But that's like an experience, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna shit in jars or whatever they do, and then
Hopefully.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know.
So, I mean, I don't know. I personally feel like COVID's going down right now.
I think it feels like it is.
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, with...
That's the weirdest thing. We all can feel if COVID's going up or down.
Yeah, totally.
You can feel it.
Yeah, totally.
COVID's going, it's going down. It's like the wind.
Exactly.
But it's like an internal compass.
Yeah. 100%.
That's so
yeah.
strange.
Like, I'm not afraid. You know, I go to a coffee shop. I
you
I
had
sit
it?
there. I've never had COVID, no.
Not me either.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, it is kind of like, Fauci says we're all going to get it, but like, I've been fine. I'm also like pretty healthy. You know what I mean? Like, look, I hate to be, you know, I'm not going to turn this into an anti-vax thing, but like, I mean, like if you're a healthy man, if you're healthy, not a man, it's like, it's just...
You're going anti-vax. You're going
wow. In the last 30 seconds,
normative.
This podcast took a huge downturn.
Yeah.
No, I just feel like it's very healthy to,
I just held up a card and said, go there.
No, we don't have to go there. But I just feel like I go to the gym a lot and I'm taking care of myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't need to live my life in a way where I'm just scared all the time.
Yeah. What's a lot for the gym?
I'm going, for me, a lot. I'm going probably 3 to 4 times a week.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I really this year, you know, like I really want to just get in great shape. Mm-hmm. You know, like I'm 37, and I think it's like there's no reason for me.
This is the time. You look great still. So
thank
keep
you.
it up.
Yeah. I just feel like, you know, it's like so many people let themselves go. Like, but it's like, dude, you can let yourself go when you're 60, but like 30s, come on, man, we gotta try here.
I stopped drinking September 22nd.
Oh, nice.
That helped, and then I work out 6 times a week, and that day off,
Whoa.
I'm like, I almost get depressed. I'm like, it gets addictive.
Yeah, and you know what? I think that's the way to do it because you have to like, we try to be too smart, you know, like, okay, how can I improve my life, you know? But it all just comes down to the body.
Yeah. Do you know Ramin Nazar?
No,
He's like a graphic artist, And he posts a lot of great art about like these philosophical questions we all have. Like there'll be like a little artwork of a guy like spending 7 hours researching how to become a better person, and then like the last hour stressing out that they can't. So
That's
it's like
funny.
he does a lot of. I feel like somehow we're universally connected because every time he posts something, it's like the exact way I feel.
Oh, nice.
The same way like you read a horoscope, you're like, how did they do it? It is how I feel. That's how he does all his posts. So I recommend following him.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are all stuck on the self-help train, which is like, it's like you don't, it's not that complicated.
No.
It's just like, how do you get a good feeling up here, basically?
Well, all the things in life are not complicated. It's like, they're just boring.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, don't eat the bad food, like work out, get plenty of rest.
Yeah. That's
like
actually
save more than you spend, like save more than you earn, or like
I know, like investing in them is really easy. Like put money in an index fund and then watch compound interest, take it forever.
Is that how you invest?
Yeah.
So you buy like the S&P 500 index?
Yeah, or I just grab like some mutual fund that kind of tracks, a bunch of indexes.
Yeah. What got you into being a proponent of the index?
Oh man, I mean, dude, just like you have to take care of your money. Like, I mean, every single day I wake up and it's like okay, there's a bill from here. There's this person taking my money. I'm like, what's this thing for $500 that randomly showed up? And it's like you have to like constantly be managing your money. The index. So the thing is like, whatever. There's two ways to invest, right? There's one where you can actively be day trading, or you can just throw all your money into one thing and just watch it go up.
Yeah.
And
money's made by sitting.
Exactly.
Not
right.
trading.
Yeah. And so, whatever. And it's the most readily available information. The market generally goes up 8%, 10% a year, averaged over the last 100 years, right? So put money in that.
This all sounds very Warren Buffett-ish. Are you one of his disciples?
I am a disciple of Warren Buffett,
Me too.
Yes.
Have you ever gone to the meeting in Omaha?
No, never. Have you?
You should go. Yeah, I've gone like 10 times.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh my God. What? That sounds so fun.
It's the best thing ever.
No way.
Yeah.
You can also call in or something, right?
They started doing live streams, so you can watch it.
Oh, okay,
too.
yeah.
But you meet a lot of great people like there, and it's like fun. It's an experience. I haven't gone since COVID because they've been canceled.
Oh, okay.
It is back this year, and I don't know if I'm gonna go. But yeah, you can watch it online as well.
But yeah, going sounds like a really fun.
Yeah.
But it's like the strategy is like, I mean, it's easy. It's just hold your money. But most people, the problem is just most people can't fathom just like saving money and not touching it.
Yeah, and it's not. It's boring. It's boring. It's the most boring way to invest. But like you even see it now. It's like what's happened the big stock crash, or not big, small correction.
Yeah,
everyone's down except Warren Buffett. But all the way up, they're like, oh, he's falling behind. He's lost his touch.
Yeah.
And it's just happened over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
It's like the slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah. And
you might miss out on Tesla. You might miss out on like the big ones. But it's the only thing you can do to be pretty much guaranteed a return over time. And don't put it all in at once. That's the thing too.
You got to do the dollar cost averaging.
Yeah.
You throw in $500 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're good.
Have you read any books on investing?
I used to read a lot of books. I've read all that like Intelligent Investor.
Oh,
all this. Oh, is it there?
Oh, yeah, of course it's there.
Oh,
Security
nice.
analysis.
Boom.
That's a bit more boring, but
yeah. And but all the books are, I think, and the Intelligent Investor, basically he was the one where he's like, okay, if you spend all of your time managing your stocks, you'll get like a 1% more return than if you just put it in an index and wait.
Yeah.
And so, I just, and if you do the calculations, it's insane. Like if you put in $500 a month into the index for the next, 50 years, I mean, it's gonna be millions of dollars, So
it's hard to get rich quickly, but not hard to get rich over time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. So you drive through LA, you go through like Larchmont Village or something, and you see these like $50 billion mansions. It's like, oh, this is just somebody's grandfather who started investing $500 a month, 100 years ago.
Yeah, and inflation and assets and accumulation over time.
Yeah.
I mean, LA is also full of the quick rich.
Yeah.
The fast money, but that's not something you can plan for.
I mean, there is some fast money. Like, I mean, but you're talking about what? Just like an actor who blows up, a producer
young
who
musician.
makes a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
there's new ones, Bitcoin millionaires, NFT millionaires.
Yeah.
Probably not as many as we're led to believe.
That's what I think. I don't think it's that many. Like, like how many musicians in the last year are buying a $50 million mansion? It's like
Not 50, no.
Yeah, like, okay, or whatever, a $10 million mansion, there's a couple artists that popped off, but I would say it's probably 20,
Yeah, I mean, having worked with many musicians in the music business, sometimes you'd be shocked at the reality versus the image.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, it blows my mind. So if you're on Melrose, you see all these Ferraris and Lamborghinis going down. And if you're naive, you go, man, those people are so successful. It's like, no, dude, that guy rented a Lamborghini for the weekend. He blew $2,000 and he just wants that feeling of like, look at me.
Yeah. And some people do own them and buy them. Like if you're a young guy and you've made $2-3 million and you feel comfortable spending, $500,000 on a car,
yeah,
you have no responsibilities and that's just your choice.
Some people
have
a
lot of those.
Some people have it, but I would say that for every 10 Lamborghinis you see going down the street, I would say one is probably an actual owner of that Lamborghini.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of inflation of assets the last year. Like if you've owned anything, if you've owned any real estate, any stocks, pretty much it's gone up over the last 2 years. And that creates like the wealth effect where everyone feels comfortable spending.
Right. Oh yeah. So what's the best hedge against inflation in your opinion?
I mean, owning assets is a good hedge against inflation.
Like
property? Real estate is definitely, especially because if you're on like a mortgage, your payment doesn't go up, and it can only go down because you can refinance.
Right.
So that's a great hedge against inflation, is owning property and also assets like stocks, because it's based on a business. And what does a business do? A business raises prices.
Yep.
So like if you go to Chipotle and there's price inflation, Chipotle raises its prices $1.
Right.
And then that gets passed on to the consumer and the business continues to thrive. Or Coca-Cola, like the classic Warren Buffett example, they raise their cans by a nickel to adjust for inflation. Coke was 5 cents at one point, 10 cents.
Okay, so this year, so inflation is 7% this past year. So Cokes are just going to go up by 7%, right?
Well, it's not applied uniformly across the board. So the CPI is like an index of different things they use to measure inflation. So a lot of inflation is wage inflation right now and commodity inflation. And so it doesn't get applied uniformly. So Coke may or may not decide to raise its prices. But I do find if you go to a Coke machine, a lot of times it can be $2 for a Coke or $2.50.
Yeah, totally.
And I grew up with like a 50 cent or like $1.
Yeah, dude, I remember walking home from school. This was in high school, maybe, and I would, or maybe elementary school. And yeah, there was a Dr. Pepper machine where I used to get them for 25 cents.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think maybe that was even cheap at that time, but dude, that is unheard of now.
Yeah, the only thing that hasn't gone up is like Costco hot dogs.
Oh my God, dude, that's the reason to have the Costco membership.
Yeah, the hot dogs. But I don't eat at McDonald's very often, but if you go to McDonald's, that's where you see inflation. You're like, McDonald's used to be a sub $5 experience.
Right.
That's why I'm going there. $5 is getting me everything.
Yeah.
And now it's like a $10, $11 experience.
I know, dude. What's that burger? The $6 burger at Carl's Jr.
Yeah, Big Mac is like $4.95 now.
Yeah. Oof, but a Big Mac is.
That's one of the things they use, the Big Mac index. They use that to measure inflation across different countries. So they'll take a Big Mac and be like, all right, and it's $4 US. What would a Big Mac cost in Germany? Oh, it's $6, the equivalent of $6 US. What would it cost in China? And it gives you like a graph kind of like with the relative price index.
Yeah, I guess that's like, okay, now I know what my money's worth. Like I don't have, this many dollars. I have this many Big Macs.
Yeah, and that's important. If you're the guy who's in the... Remember that documentary about the guy who ate a Big Mac every day?
Yeah.
I think he died, right? I don't know.
No, I don't think he... Did he? I hope not.
He's dead now.
Oh, it's so sad.
No, but he wouldn't eat the fries, right? That was his whole thing. He would eat the Big Mac every day. Yeah. He's like, it's the perfect sandwich.
Oh my God, he loved it. I think he ate 2 Big Macs every day.
Yeah.
That was all his meal. And then, and he was so skinny.
Well, a Big Mac is like 550 calories, something like that. It's not crazy.
It's not crazy. No.
So, but you add the fries, which is probably like 700,
right,
approximately. Then you add a Coke, which is probably like 200, like a big ass Coke. I don't know. So now you're at like 1,500 calories in a meal. But if you just have two 500-calorie meals, that's pretty good.
I mean, you're actually losing weight.
I mean, that can't be his whole meals for the day.
Yeah, he's got to eat something else.
Yeah, that's not enough calories to live. Do you track your calories?
See, that's the thing. I'm trying to work on that because I do have like a little bit of a paunch and that I'm trying to get rid of. And
track the calories.
I think I might have to track the calories.
MyFitnessPal.
Yeah, but the only issue is like, so I eat out a lot and I just don't know.
That's harder.
Yeah, so you have to eat at home, right?
But if you start cooking, you'll save money.
Yeah.
And you'll lose weight. You'll lose the paunch. If you eat at home and cook your meals, it'll go.
Really?
Yeah. That's what I'm working on too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get, and I also like, my dad, he always had a paunch, like till the day he was gone. And like, I
said, like I know him. I'm sorry. I think I said, because my dad is a bit of a paunch.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You weren't like, your dad's gone.
Yeah. Are you, I mean, everyone probably thinks we're related.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm going to get messages being like, it sounds like one person talking.
Right.
But it looks like one person talking too.
It's like you cut the angles, but it's just.
Nice fake beard. Are you Indian?
I'm Indian, yeah.
Half?
No, I'm full Indian.
Full Indian, okay.
And you are, hold up, Lebanese? No, hold up. You're Iranian.
No, that's the one I got a lot.
Tayour, Egyptian? Sorry, dude.
No, that's closer. Moroccan.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm half, so I do look like a lot of things.
Okay.
And in LA, definitely Iranian comes up the most.
100%. Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, but this is a great look.
You probably get that too.
Oh, yeah. And Iranian is a compliment. Have you seen those guys? They're fucking amazing looking.
Are you, are you from a particular part of India, your family?
So, yes, my family is, so my mom grew up in Bombay and my dad grew up in like a smaller town in the north, actually a town called Ujjain. It's the home of Sanskrit, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. That's the writing.
Sanskrit is like the ancient Indian language that like is the basis for all of the modern Indian languages. Yeah.
Because India has the most languages of any country.
Yeah. I mean, 16, official dialects. And then there's so many more like side ones.
Yeah.
Which is just nuts.
Do you just like run into somebody and you're like, we can't.
Yeah. You can generally understand the other person. Yeah. The words are just like, it just sounds like you're talking to like.
Oh, it's like different slang, colloquial stuff.
Yeah. And you can kind of get the gist. It's like.
It's just like, that's like the equivalent of like tech compatibility. It's like the Android Apple of,
right.
Like the ancient world.
Yeah, it's like 16 different operating systems.
Yeah, it's human operating systems, and you're like, we can't download. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like, but maybe we could port it.
But we can use our phone to translate for us.
Yeah.
Do you ever do that? That's amazing.
I wish I had less social anxiety to like sit with a person and like not know what they're saying and translate and stuff like that.
You just walk away.
I just get scared generally. Like, people say like, oh, if you immerse yourself in a country, you'll learn the language. Me, I would just shudder in like a little thing and just die.
Right.
Probably.
You're like in the hotel online learning about the place you're at.
Yeah. That's the one thing I would love to improve in my life is like a little bit more like not having to prepare for everything.
Did you prepare for this?
I actually didn't. So this is a huge step.
Oh my God.
This is a huge step forward.
I don't know whether to feel complimented or insulted.
Yeah, probably.
I prepare for everything. What about this? Definitely not.
Definitely not this. No, this is an opportunity to be free. I took a concerted risk here.
I like that we judoed that into an opportunity. Yeah,
100%, dude. Like I'm actually trying to take. Okay, so every single thing that happens to you, you get to ascribe the meaning, right?
Yes.
Even as so far as like, oh, I lost my leg, you can change the meaning. So, I'm trying to do it with smaller things or whatever.
I gained a wheelchair.
Yeah, dude. I actually have more now.
Right.
So there, like, well, actually, there was a guy. He got his leg bitten off by a shark, and then he felt bad for the shark because he's like, oh, now people are gonna kill all these sharks because the shark bit off my leg. He's like, and he went on this whole thing, like he became like a wildlife like preservationist. He's like, don't kill the sharks.
He's also using it. That's like the triple judo. It's like I'm going to judo it and make it about the sharks.
Yeah.
And then make it about me again.
Oh, now I see what he did.
Yeah.
Dude, life is like that. How can
Yeah.
you just... So, like, whatever. So this girl told me she didn't want to see me anymore. So I judoed it, and I'm like, that's actually life telling me that I should be with someone better.
Yeah. That's the classic one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have discovered this 20 years ago, but I was living in a closet.
With the social anxiety,
Yeah.
how do you know you have that?
I just, because I freeze, man, you know, and like even in like some green rooms with comedians,
Yeah.
you know, I always find something to do. I'm like, oh no, I have to do the light. Oh, I got to do the music, or I got to take a picture, you know? So
Yeah.
yeah.
You're talking to the guy who does the music at his show, and I actually love it because it isolates me.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely see you as someone with crippling social anxiety.
Are you being sarcastic?
No. You actually seem like you are good at talking, communicating, and immersing.
Do I come across as someone who has social anxiety?
No.
I feel like I have a little bit of it. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think at some level we all do have social anxiety.
Right.
You know, I mean, if you get nervous before you go on stage, then, you know, that's a form of social anxiety. But have you ever met someone that has no social anxiety?
Yeah, we're around them every night.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people, like, you know, just, it's like my co-producer of the setup, this amazing guy, Abai. Have you ever met him? Abai
Amazing guy,
Nagkirni?
Abai.
His name is Abai. Yeah, that should be his name, Amazing Guy Abai.
He's at Amazing Guy Abai.
That should be his handle. You
What
know,
is it?
Abai, if you're listening, it's just Abai Nagkirni is his full name, and that's his handle. But this guy's got no social anxiety, goes up to anybody, asks anybody anything, and it's part of the reason why we produce such amazing shows, because he just has no fear in reaching out to anybody, and people see his confidence and they reflect that back to him.
Yeah, I feel like I have two versions of myself.
Mm-hmm.
I am Abai, but I'm also Richard, and I oscillate between them.
Right.
Yeah.
We're both sitting on your shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't talk to anybody. He's like, talk to everybody.
Like, go talk, do the sound.
Do the sound, do the light. You have other tasks.
Because at certain points in my life, and I feel like when I was this way more Abai, the universe liked it and catapulted things my way.
Yeah.
So when I was more outgoing, more like present and talking, I would talk to everyone all the time.
Yeah.
And it was so like it was like intoxicating.
Oh yeah.
But it's easy for me to be the opposite too and be like talk to nobody.
And so what gets you in that state where you can talk to anybody and you want to talk to everybody?
This is doing it. I think it's like it's hard to get back to it.
Yeah.
It's almost like you just have to have the will and the desire to feel stupid. It's a lot like comedy. You just have to like kind of, it's like doing it is like new material all day. When you're talking around, you're just like accepting that it could go super weird.
That's what I liked at your show on Monday. Like you went up and you tried a bunch of new jokes.
Yeah.
And that was really cool. I was like,
that's the only reason I do that show, because otherwise like why?
It's amazing. So I'm looking for like a little space right now. I'm probably going to try to start a little thing where I can just be a little bit more free to.
Yeah.
Because I do a show on Wednesday right now, but it's usually pretty full, and I don't necessarily feel comfortable in front of like a paying audience to be like, all right, here I'm gonna get whimsy.
Yeah, but could you put like, if you're doing 10, let's say, could you put 2 minutes of the whimsy?
I can, but and I actually did that yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's very nerve wracking. Like some people, they have some comedians. I admire the ability that they can just kind of like. They can just riff with an audience and just like explore a topic in front of them. But for me, the moment I'm not getting a laugh, my brain just freezes and doesn't explore anymore.
Right. Well, I think it's because, well, first of all, the point is to get a laugh, right? Which can get lost sometimes. And so that's good that you're cognizant of it.
Yeah, it's good.
It's also the type of comedy you do, which is more frequent laughs, a lot of...
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you.
So like... It's funny to even say there's a type of comedy with laughs, but like...
Oh, so your comedy is one where you get laughs.
But
okay,
like there
gotcha.
is like more storytelling. There's more meandering, more off the script stuff.
Yeah. So I did develop that style.
Yours is more set up.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
the setup,
It's,
one might say.
it's all setups.
It's all the setup.
And everyone's
You have
like,
to say the.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, why'd you
It's
put it in the
all
sign? It's
the
all
setups.
it's all the setup.
Right.
That could be like your like when they have like Starbucks, it tastes good or whatever. It's like the setup. It's all the.
It's all the.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't realize you were a marketing consultant and just.
Right. You're gonna get a bill after this.
God damn it.
Yeah, in Bitcoin.
Comedy costs money to do in this town.
It does. It sounds like yours is not one of those ones, though. At least it sustains itself.
It does sustain itself, and I'm very proud of that. And I
Yeah.
think it's
You've always had a good business acumen.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to like manage the cash flow of it. As Bill Graham taught me how to, run it. Not Bill Graham. What's his name?
Benjamin Graham?
Benjamin Graham. Yeah, sorry. Bill Graham doesn't do any investing. But I just think it's important as comedians that like we value ourselves, and we, it's like, look, I've been doing comedy for 10 years. Like I'm pretty good at it. And like, I deserve to get paid for what I do. And I think it's just like every time, you do something where like, every time you do something where you don't get paid or like you really put yourself out there and you don't get anything for it, you kind of are affirming this belief to yourself that like, oh, maybe I am not worthy of this,
It's also, this town is a lot of like, don't worry, you'll get paid eventually. It's kind of like, it's in music, it's in acting, it's in all these things. So
yeah,
it's hard. At some point, you have to be like, make that switch. And it's different times for different people, but you have to.
Yeah.
And I commend you for making, having a good business acumen with your show. Cause I feel like that's something that for me, I've always lacked a little bit of the like desire to make the business part of a show. Like my first thing is always make a great show.
Yeah.
But the economics of making a show into like a business have never really appealed to me.
But they can work together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and the show gets better if the economics of it are good, because a lot of times with a free show, I've noticed that a free show, the audience shows up late, they leave early, they talk a lot, because it's just you're training the audience to value it, right?
Right.
So I mean, and also like, if a guy's going to take a girl on a date, unless it's a horrible guy, he's not going to take her to a free show. Like he's going to be like, oh, hey, I got us tickets to go to the Comedy Store or something like that.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah. So it's like, generally when I do shows, it's like, okay, people who value comedy, they've made a commitment to me. Now I have a commitment to you. And now we both honor that.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's coming from someone who currently has a free show.
I mean, the show is, it's the Kibitz Room. It's a legendary venue. Guns N' Roses used to perform there, right?
Right. I'm not taking that as a knock. That's the type of show that just has to be a free show for a lot of different reasons, but it has its place, and it's a tougher room, which also has its place. It kind of pushes you to really, if you are going to riff, to really get there. You feel the pressure. You're like, all right, this riff has to go somewhere now. And it pushes you to have the confidence to command that room, which can be all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's also like, it's a gym, you know what I mean? So like, if you're training.
It's a gym with missing, it's like when you have a 35 and a 40 and you're like, all right, I guess we'll do one and switch.
Right. Exactly. It's definitely like a Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
So like, but like even if you're you're an Olympic athlete, you're still paying money to train at a gym. Yeah. So there is value in like expending.
Have you been watching working out documentaries?
No,
because that's what I watched a little. I didn't get all the way through it, but I watched like the first third of Arnold's documentary.
Oh, Pumping Iron. I've watched that a long time ago.
Okay, but he's basically saying people. When I started bodybuilding, it was people paid like you had to have a job. I worked in construction because you had to buy your supplements, and you pay for your gym and all that stuff, and it's like there was no money in it. They were doing it for the love. Yep. Like comedy and all these other things.
Yeah. And I think comedy is funny because you have to build your own gym. Like that, isn't that crazy?
Oh yeah. You have to build your own gym.
Yeah, that's how hard comedy is. Even if you want to work out, you can't.
Right, because building your own show is your own gym. Because sometimes you're like, you go to the gym and they say no. Yeah. Like, I have to build my own gym.
They're like, actually, you're not good enough to work out at this gym. What? Go work out at that shittier gym.
That's like saying, oh, you want to be a bodybuilder. They say no. And you're like, all right, let me go learn how to make a gym
Yeah.
and then I can use my own gym.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's how crazy stand-up comedians are. Like, and I think that's why we have all stand-up comedian friends, because
Yeah.
like, who else is this crazy?
Yeah, who else is going to jump through all those hoops?
Yeah, like I have a couple friends, that are like, one of the guys that doesn't do comedy. He's like, yeah, I want to try stand-up. I'm like, if you're saying I want to try stand-up, that is already like a fail, like, because you have to.
There's no do, only try. I mean, no try, only do.
Right? What movie is that from? No, just kidding.
I had someone try. I had a little joke, a Star Wars joke, and someone came up to me and was like, "Yeah, Star Wars." And because I have kids, like I know they're trying to talk to me about it. I'm like, "Oh, you know nothing about like."
Yeah.
I'm at a level on my Star Wars knowledge now where like I can't have a conversation. Like you're like we're not on the same page here.
That's super funny, actually. That you know way more about Star Wars than most people.
Oh yeah, because my kids are like so into it,
Dude. So I have like I have a concentration problem. I don't know if it's ADHD or whatever. I don't know if I like have been diagnosed or whatever, but like sitting and watching something or being a passive observer of something, I can't concentrate. So I'm not able to watch a lot of movies or TV shows because it's just somebody talking to me. I'm good at this because someone says something to me, I take that and then throw it back. It's an interactive
Do you
thing.
play video games?
I don't play video games anymore. No.
That's more of a interactive anymore.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to play.
Okay.
But
When I was a child.
Yeah, like the children with their games.
Yeah.
No, I actually don't like video games anymore. Like, I've tried because so my favorite used to be Zelda, and I tried all the new Zeldas, and I'm like, the innovation is not there anymore.
It's innovation in different areas.
Yeah, they've just made the world bigger. You can gallop farther on your horse. Like, and I'm like,
I hate all the horse-based games.
Yeah, fuck that shit, dude.
No more games with horses.
Yeah, dude. No more horses. No more boats. No more talking to a character who tells you to talk to someone else.
Yeah, and then
I'm
come
done.
back.
Yeah. Oh, talk to him. Get the thing from him and then open that door. No.
Yeah.
No more.
Fahim had Anwar, hilarious comedian. He had a great bit about like in Grand Theft Auto. It's like when you're a Postmates guy, it's like doing all this shitty side missions from Grand Theft Auto.
That's so funny. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry if I butchered that, Fahim.
You two look exactly the same. I do think, was he on this?
Yeah, he was on this.
Okay, yeah.
We did that face meld thing.
Oh, you did? Okay, that's like insane.
I feel like sometimes we do look alike, but sometimes we don't. Like, I think we look alike in theory, but like if we're next to each other, we don't. We're obviously don't look that alike.
Yeah. Also, people say I look like Fahim too.
Yeah.
So,
but we talked about this when we were started.
Yeah,
There's a spectrum. There's like me, you, and Fahim in the middle.
Yeah.
And then to the right of me is Paula Leah. And
Right.
to the left of you is Sami Obeid.
yeah.
And then then we all could be
Yeah.
somehow. There's like it's like when you go to Home Depot and you get the Pantone of like all the different colors. You want to paint your wall. Like you could get the Pantone of the brown comedians.
Yeah. We're like
I'm sure there's other people on there that I'm forgetting.
Yeah, I'll have the Latif, please. That would be good for my living room.
Right. We'll do one wall Latif, one wall Sammy.
That's an interesting shade of brown for a house. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that it would really work.
That could be a good R&B group, Shades of Brown.
Shades of brown.
What's interesting, like with comedians, like a lot of LA and comedy and like making it used to be you show up to a place and the audition night and then you do it and then you're chosen.
Yeah.
And then you're lifted up.
Yeah.
And then you have the stage to perform. And I had this thought, I wanted to know if you agree. If you have the talent to be someone really funny, are you going to bring that talent to audition night or are you going to bring it to TikTok?
Yeah. You're going to bring it to TikTok for sure. I mean, I also think, I mean, the landscape has changed so much. Also, like audition night is like, you're not performing for like a real audience, right? Like those nights of like you're auditioning in front of like a packed house or whatever, they're not there anymore. Like you don't get the real read.
Right. But you also don't get the real reward. Like you don't get, I mean, very rarely do you get like lifted up. And now it's like what but you do get lifted up online.
Yeah.
Like, and you're someone who's had great success on TikTok. Like you have to 1.5 million followers,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
No, thank you.
And how did that path work out for you?
Like getting to there?
Yeah, like was it something you did actively? Was it just like I'm having fun and you're like so excited that it turned out that way? Was it a planned approach?
Yeah. So I did get onto TikTok a little bit early, January 2020, I think. No.
So right before the pandemic.
Right before the pandemic. Yeah. But it's kind of funny. Like, so the first thing that happened was I had a special on Dry Bar. And so the first thing was I just cut up the Dry Bar special into 30 pieces and I threw it up on TikTok. That did pretty well. I got a couple 100,000 followers.
Nice.
And then, so that was no work. I just cut up.
Yeah,
posted.
that's work.
Yeah, it's some work. Yeah. And then after that, I just had the idea for the Night of the Living Karens. I get bitten by a Karen. I start turning into one. It's a virus. And
so this is the NFT tied to your already viral TikTok campaign.
Yes, exactly. It's all gonna come. It's all one big brand.
Yeah.
I will be Fluffy. I will be Kevin Hart. Some people are gonna be purchasing just a cardboard cutout of me as a Karen.
Yeah.
But so that was the idea. So it was just one sketch. I get bitten, and then all of a sudden I'm like, turn the music down, and people loved it. So then I was like, okay, let's make more. I ended up making 10, and then they exploded, and so that got me up to 1.5 mil. But I just think it's a funny thing because if you talk to anybody about social media, they go like, you got to post every day, 3 times a day.
At noon.
And I'm just like, that's not true. You know, that's true if you want it. Yeah, you can always brute force something, but you can also think smart, which is less energy.
So what about that is you lost me there. So you're saying don't follow these tropes and just think smart. What about the approach you're doing is the think smart?
Oh, like I'm sort of just thinking like, because the Karen videos tapped into the zeitgeist.
With the Karen, that's what you're saying. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So those videos, like even though it was only 10 videos, they were so much more important culturally than just me talking to the camera being like, oh, pancakes are weird.
Right. So you weren't brute forcing average content. You were capitalizing on a content that's very active in the online sphere already. Yeah. And using that energy, online energy, to showcase the funny stuff you're doing. Yeah.
It was whatever. It was a combination. It's the jujitsu we've been talking about this whole time. Well,
it's also timing, because timing is a lot of everything in the business and what you're trying to achieve. So your timing with Karen, you do Karen 6 years ago, no one cares. You're like,
no one cares.
Yeah.
No one cares.
No one Karens. So, you did the Karen active choice to make that, and then that catapulted you to 1 million through those?
Yeah, that took me all the way to the 1.5.
Wow.
So, but now it's like, I just post stuff and it's like, people just like me from that. Yeah. So they're kind of just like seeing what I do now.
Do you feel the pressure to do a Karen's part 2? To give the people what they want? Or are you going to lead them in a different direction?
I did. And I actually even tried making a new one, and it did fine. It got like 500,000 views, but it wasn't like the explosive virality I was thinking it would be. So now I'm done with it. And but now I would like to pivot and do something different. I just really want to concentrate on stand-up. Yeah. Like I've poured so much of my life into stand-up that it would be I just have to do this. Yeah. I gotta just get that.
You can't be on the margin with stand-up. Like stand-up can't be on the margin as a secondary activity to your TikTok or whatever.
Yeah. Stand-up's the main thing, and it's kind of funny. Like I was talking to my buddy, Alingon Mitra, and he's a comedian in New York. And he was like, as stand-ups, he's like, are we like still relevant? Or like, he's like, are we just like yodelers? Like we're just the best yodelers? And it's just kind of funny because I know people love stand-up, but they kind of love it from a distance where, most people, they go to a show twice a year probably, and it's kind of interesting. Like, so how, as stand-up comedians, how do we use what we do to like, connect with those people?
Yeah, it's like loving cheesecake. You're probably not going to eat it every day.
Exactly, yeah.
Or you shouldn't eat it every day.
Right, exactly.
But some people do. Some people love cheesecake that much, or some people love stand-up that much. But yeah, it is interesting that you're making your career over an art that's kind of on the margins, in a basement, off to the side. But like for us, it doesn't feel like it feels, because of the people we follow, it feels like it's all of everything, of the entire society. But then like when you know this from booking a show, you're like, I can't believe I got so and so on. It's gonna be amazing, and people are like, oh, I didn't even know
who is
who
that?
that was, and you're like, what?
Oh my god, dude! So I went to go see Bon Iver, the band, at the Forum, and packed 30,000 people there to see them. And this guy in front of me, he like nudges his girlfriend. He's like, "Oh, when we go home, I got to show you this new Netflix special. It's from this guy, Bill Burr. You're gonna love it."
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you know, like, I was like, if people don't know who Bill Burr is, like, what do they think about me? You know?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like what you said. Stand up just isn't unless it's like Dave Chappelle, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah.
The household nameness of stand up that was from the 90s and early 2000s came from television.
Yeah.
Because television was a medium that was everywhere all the time, and it took over your house.
Yeah.
Like a hit. Imagine if like people in Friends were comedians. Like everyone would know who they are.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But they got the fame by being on the show first.
Right.
That's their exposure.
So like the Ray Romano, they probably,
Yeah.
I mean, I would say the average person doesn't even know he's a stand-up.
Yeah. Oh, totally. They have no idea.
Yeah. Or Paul Reiser. Like these are celebrity, like stars.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is now in this post-internet comedy environment, the clubs are populated with the stars of like these shows from years ago.
Yeah.
More and more.
Yeah.
Like they're kind of coming back to stand up.
Which I like, you know, and I actually do think there is going to be a resurgence of live club comedy, and especially the indie show market, because
Do you think it's dying though? Because it's pretty. You go to the Improv, the store, it's packed. There's a Laugh Factory, like there's no shortage.
But there's room for more. You know what I mean? Like the Improv and the Comedy Store are two venues. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, the way I see it, there should be hundreds of shows. You know, like packed, and people should be flocking to be like, oh my god, like what's next?
Yeah. Kind of like in New York.
Yeah, like New York.
Yeah, because New York is still like that.
Yeah. But I think there's even going to be more of a return to it, because like I think social media is getting crowded. You know what I mean? Like think about it right now. Like social media is more crowded than real life.
I had this theory that like when you drive by a billboard and you see a billboard and you're like, oh, is it old media and it's gone and everything is Facebook ads, or is that billboard now even more valuable because it lives in the real world, not the meta world?
I actually think that's true, because you know, like, dude, if you make an Instagram post or something like that, or even a Facebook ad, like, you know, some people see it, but it's just,
it's shown not at your choice. It's shown at the behest of the algorithm.
Yeah.
So I may want Richard to see my post.
Yep.
But it's going to go through a filter that's going to tell him whether it thinks my post is right for you.
Absolutely, dude. I mean, dude, think about like, okay, even if you have whatever, hundreds of thousands of followers, you post something now. Do all of your hundreds of thousands of followers see your post? They're my followers, right? No, they don't see it.
Yeah.
Because those hundreds of thousands of people are also everybody who follows you also follows another 2,000 people.
Yeah.
So there's no way they can consume all the content from the people that they're following.
Right. Which is why they want paid ads.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like for your own followers to see your posts, you have to promote your own post.
Yeah.
So that's how crowded social media is.
Is that how you promote your shows?
I don't ever. No. I would never. I mean, I've tried a couple times to put money into promoting my content and stuff like that, and it's just kind of backfired.
Not your content, but for the setup, the shows.
No, we don't do like. I mean, no, we don't. The Facebook ads and stuff like that were. They're helpful, but it's like you don't get the great return. Like if you spend $50 on Facebook ads, you'll probably sell. You probably get 3-4 people to come to your show.
Yeah, I've never seen a great result from it.
Yeah. And it's just too crowded.
Yeah.
So everything in the market always reaches a stasis, right?
Right.
So
an equilibrium.
Yeah. Sorry. So if you spend $50, essentially you're going to get $50 worth. So you spend $50, so you get the 3 people at your show. They spend 10.
I felt like it was always like, if I spent $100, I sold an extra $96 in tickets.
Exactly.
It somehow always worked out to be a break-even
exactly
thing.
Yeah.
But what you did get from it is the audience. So you advertised, the sales, this is from my experience at least, would somehow break even,
Yeah.
but the audience would stay with you.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, over a long enough period of time, there is momentum. You know, your brand gets recognized. You know, your email list builds. You know, so it's not like there's no value in doing it, but you need it as one of several channels.
Right. What's your primary channel?
Well, look, I mean, right now I'm doing a show in Culver City where, I mean, the main channel is that there's not much going on in Culver City.
But that has to be more than that. People walk outside their house and be like, man, there's nothing going on. And they walk over to the setup.
Well, look, I mean, I tried, so we launched 2 setups, or maybe during the pandemic. I tried one in Echo Park and I tried one in Culver City. The one in Echo Park, just no one would come to.
Yeah.
And after a while, just killed it. And then the Culver City one just kind of took off. So it's not, you know, it's like, it's hard to put your finger on what happened.
But is it email? Is it like you have to be, somehow people are finding out? Is it Eventbrite?
Oh, yeah. Well, Eventbrite is, so, okay, first of all, there's several channels to search for it, like SEO wise. So Eventbrite, you know, whatever, our social media has a decent following. And then the venue itself, you know, there's Citizen Public Market where we do our show has 5 or 6 food vendors there. You know, all of those people promote our show. So we have like, you know, hey, we did a thing for a while where like, hey, if, you know, you come to the show, then you also get some percentage off of the food from these vendors. So the vendors had a incentive to, you know, push us. So it was more, and so once again, it was more like a real life force that's bringing people to the venue.
Right. It's almost like you're a part of the community.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they helped us thrive. If it was just social media, like we'd be dead.
Yeah. What are some of your goals for this year?
Oh, nice, dude. The goal, I mean, I want to, well, I need to get a bunch of shows going. Like I really want to have like you know, like a bunch of places to try out new material. Like just because it's LA doesn't mean that I shouldn't be getting on stage like most nights.
Yeah.
So
it's a pressure we all feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, back in San Francisco, it was like doing like 7-8 shows a week, you know. And,
really?
Yeah. And in LA, it comes down to like, okay, I'm doing 2 shows a week.
Yeah. Wow, 7, 8.
Yeah.
You ever thought about going back just for the stage time?
Oh, I do it all the time. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like just this week in San Francisco, like, yeah, I mean, if you go to San Francisco, you can do you can do 2 shows every single night.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're decent.
I had no idea.
Oh yeah, dude, you got to get up there.
I've never done comedy in San Francisco.
Oh, dude, like, it's just so fun.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's a bunch of audiences that are like, yes, what do you want? What are you going to talk about?
Yeah. Do you know Irene too?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine, and she's from up there, and you're from up there. So yeah, I'm overdue for a trip. Is Steve Fury? He's from there, right?
Fury is from Sacramento.
Okay,
but so he's
it's like not as cool.
No, actually, there seems to be a little bit of a rivalry between Sacramento and San Francisco. That's like the comedians don't really mix. The scenes are very different.
Okay.
But actually, dude, if you're good in Sacramento, that's more like a slice of America than San Francisco.
Okay.
So if you kill in think the 3 winners of the NBC diversity competition, the last 3 were all from Sacramento.
What?
Yeah, Kyrie Shabazz, Jared Guzman, and Mikey Winfield.
I love Jared Guzman.
Yeah.
I didn't know he's from Sacramento.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. And he kills in Sacramento, he kills all over the world.
He's so funny.
Yeah. But that's the thing, you know, like if you kill in San Francisco, you kind of just kill in San Francisco.
Like if you're too niche to that environment.
Yeah.
Because it is somewhat of
it's a microcosm.
Has a microculture.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of tech people that have very narrow sensibilities, you know, like liberal comedy crushes, you know, like, so, and then, but you sit in there and you get too liberal, you know what I mean?
I heard Kumail Nanjiani talk about something interesting, like, because he was on that big show, Silicon Valley. Yeah. And then they would get invited to do talks in Silicon Valley. Mm-hmm. And what he was saying was like, they would say, okay, well, you're going to do some stand-up. And then they learned to be like, let's not do stand-up. Let's just have a conversation. Yeah. Because then I can be funny there. Because when you go to sometimes the Valley or these places, they think they're smarter than you, and they kind of judge you. Yeah. And he's like, it turned out way better just to have a conversation than to be like, I don't need to laugh because I'm smarter than this.
Wow, I didn't realize he was dealing with that. I mean, I've seen him perform. Like you're talking about, like at a company.
No, like they would go to Google and they'd be like,
yeah.
do stand up there, and then they're like, no, we'll just have a conversation with the cast members and then not do stand up.
Well, I mean,
I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, well, but a big problem. I don't know how many corporate gigs you do, but I do a bunch of them, and
I need to start doing them. Because
Yeah.
I work clean.
You work clean, yeah. Oh my god, but they're difficult, man. Like even for me. So I did a corporate show recently. This was on Zoom, and I have this joke that I don't really even like that much, but I just do it because people laugh. And I go like, this guy shook my hands out, and his hands were dripping wet. And he was like, "Oh, it's just water." And I was like, "Oh, what are the other options?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, you think I'm in my head going, man, this guy just pissed all over his hands." Whatever. I do this joke. They did not like that joke. They were like, we don't like this piss material you're doing." And they pulled me. So I was on Zoom. I was supposed to do 30 minutes. At 15 minutes, they booted me from the Zoom, and they tried to not pay me and stuff like that. And I was like, this is getting insane.
Piss material.
Yeah,
Did they give you a sheet of like things you can't?
They gave me a couple.
Piss material is a good name for your album.
Richard Sarvate, Piss Material.
Yeah.
They gave me a list of
Like
things.
your 80s throwback album.
Oh yeah, just like a neon.
You're in a leather jacket.
Oh, like Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah.
But in the list of things they told me not to talk about, one of them said no talking about parenting. I was like, what? What is that? Well, like why? Like I don't have children, but like why?
Yeah.
So
Maybe they had a bad experience with someone else.
okay, so I'm doing a show on Tuesday, and they said last year we had a motivational speaker, and we had to stop him in the middle of his talk because he said that he's achieved great success in life and he married a hot blonde woman. And after he said that, they were like, someone got offended in the audience, and they were like, and they just cut him off. They cut his mic and they told him to stop. So
What a crazy time.
yeah, so they told me don't say anything offensive, and I was like, everything I say is more offensive than that.
Yeah, hot blonde woman's a pretty low bar.
Pretty low, dude. So I'm doing 30 to 40 minutes on Tuesday. I mean, I'm guaranteed to fail.
Right. Mic drop
Yeah.
or mic cut.
I mean, let's do an over-under on like how many minutes I get into my set before they pull the mic.
Yeah. I mean, these are pretty consistent topics from comedians about corporate gigs and how they're challenging for all these reasons.
Yeah. So one of my goals for this year is to do less corporate gigs. So maybe you can do more.
Send them my way.
Yeah. Because I do think it's effective.
I'll just go as you.
Actually, that's a great idea.
They wouldn't even know.
That's actually a really great idea. And you just give me like a 10% or
You'll
whatever.
be my agent.
Yeah. Oh, dude, this is crazy.
It could be Wheel of Brown Guy and you get one of us who's available.
That's so funny, dude. Dude, we should just
we just write like a collective act.
Oh, yeah.
That's like only for that.
Yeah.
And then everyone can use it.
Yeah, because I would say probably 25 minutes that's like super squeaky clean. Beyond that, it starts getting to edgy territory.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you can throw in a 25, I throw in a 25, Fahim's got his 25. Dude, we could just be smashing corporate gigs.
Yeah.
Just have a headshot where we have the clothes that we're wearing. So then if we show up in those
It's just
clothes.
the eyes.
Yeah. We're just wearing burqas or something.
I don't know. I think literally we could use your photo. I show up. No one would say it. No one would say anything. I guarantee you.
I legit would love to try it.
Just to see if we could pull it off.
I would legit love
Let's do
to
it.
try
Let's do it just to see if we can pull it off.
That's actually super funny. Okay. So yeah, I just want to I almost said pivot, and I hate myself for that.
Yeah, you're from the Bay. If you got through the whole podcast without saying pivot, they would disown you.
That's true. Yeah, I want to pivot this year into doing, because I have a lot of things I want to talk about that are not corporate friendly, and I really want to explore those things.
Yeah.
And I think so. Have you heard of this Japanese concept called ikigai?
No, but it sounds great.
Yeah, it's so there's it's a Venn diagram, and there's 4 things on the diagram. There's can you make money doing it? Do you love it? Are you good at it? And does the world need it? So that's
Okay.
4 things.
I'm gonna try and get my editing skills up, and I'm gonna add this Venn diagram here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right here.
There we go.
All right.
And then the part where all four of those intersect, that's your ikigai. So that's your reason for being. So, a lot of times, like, what I want to focus on in my comedy is what does the world need? Because if you think about great comedians, when they've exploded, it's when they've like tapped into that, what does the world need?
Yeah. This is that thing. It's like, not only what does it make, what's different, but like what does it need? But there's also like an element of why.
Yeah.
Like why is what you're saying not necessarily important, but why is it different? Like why are you? Yeah.
Well, okay. So think about Louis C.K. When did he explode? Do you remember?
I mean, it was kind of like, it was after he had kids and was kind of like in his early 40s, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his special, came out and he was like, my kid's a fucking asshole. Dude, explosion. Dude, like, and because everybody, like, he was one of those first comedians that was like, I'm willing to say that I hate my kids. And now that's like one of the most hacked topics. But it's like, he started that,
Interesting.
Yeah.
And he's also consistently been one of the, great comedians.
Well, he's consistently hilarious. And then he had the other things. Am I good at it? Do I love it? Do I make money at it? And then when he hit that fourth thing,
what's the fourth thing?
What does the world need?
I don't know. That one's hard for me to get behind. Because did the world need I hate my kids material?
I think so. I think everybody, like, most of life is what? Stress about your family.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but there's a lot of Gaffigan who's doing that. Regan's doing that. Like, there's a lot of comedians doing. So I think there's something else. I think it's more than the I hate my kids. I think there was just a moment. Is it that I would change that fourth one?
Yeah.
To timing. It was just it was his time.
Well, I think we're saying the same thing. I think timing and what does the world need is the same thing.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's how do you strike the zeitgeist? So,
right. Strike while the iron's hot. There's like a moment where you have to strike, like Eminem on stage, spaghetti.
Exactly.
You got to strike, and then you get it.
Yeah. It's and I think Regan and Gaffigan did the same thing. I think Brian Regan is one of the only clean comedians that is like also hilarious. And like, I think it was like, wow, you can be this funny being clean.
Yeah.
No one knew.
Right.
Like.
And it's a lane that's just not that populated.
Dude.
Because swear words are funny.
Swear words are funny, oh my God. Dude, I mean, being funny and clean, it's like, I would say for my material, I write 90% is like dirty and then that 10% is clean. And
you come off as clean though, Isn't
that funny?
Even though you'll go into some dirty topics.
No, I don't swear because it's like the word fuck or like it just doesn't like it seems unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I think the word fuck makes you seem insecure. Like unless you have to say it, like there's most people don't have to say it. It's a defense mechanism mostly.
Well, it makes it it's a Seinfeldian idea too, to be like not swear because it's in a way harder. And then the joke has to be stronger.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree with that. The thing I'm just saying is that like, do you see the defense mechanism portion of it? Like people who, like I notice a lot when a lot of comedians are bombing, more fucks show up.
Yeah.
And it's because you're scared and you're like, oh, how do I get more alpha right now?
Yeah.
Start swearing.
Or it's like it's a little salt and pepper to put on the joke to make it, go down.
Exactly. Well, hey, if your restaurant is failing, you're just like, fucking throw some salt, dude. Throw some more salt. And then eventually people are like, it's so salty.
Yeah. That too much swearing is a fine line. It can make things very funny.
Yeah.
But it's also the person. Like there's so many comedians I like who swear.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bother me.
I think if you do it, if they're well placed, it's great. I think the issue is like when you swear and it's like not necessary at all.
Yeah, yeah. And that's usually just a sign of the material not being as strong as it needs to be.
Or it's like a, what do you call it when you just have like a word that like is like a pause?
Like a filler.
Yeah,
or like
a filler.
The fill word.
Yeah, when people use it as a filler, I think that's the problem.
Right, like if you don't get a laugh, then you say fuck, and then that gets a laugh.
Yeah.
Maybe you get two of those and that's it.
Or it's a tick. Also, like a lot of people have, like a, whatever, like playing with the mic cord, scratching your head, or like,
looking down.
Oh yeah.
Well, this has been great. I really enjoyed this conversation. We were a little long. Hopefully you're okay on time, but
oh no, this is great. Yeah, no, I really enjoyed talking.
Yeah, we had a good flow and a good conversation. Tell people about your show, where to see it, and where to follow you. And we need 1.5 million and one followers.
Yes, please. Yeah, I need fans that are not 7 years old, basically.
For a lot of different reasons.
Right, exactly. So just check me out on social media, on Instagram and TikTok at Richard Sarvate, and then in my bio I have the links to all my comedy shows and stuff like that. Come see me live at the Setup. Do a show in Culver City right now every Wednesday. But just look at the Setup. We have great shows all over California.
The Setup, California. Richard, thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
We'll see you soon.
See you soon, dude.